Welcome to Crappins. Don't wait a week for a new video. Join our Patreon at the Crappins On Demand level for instant recap access. Link in description. Enjoy the show. Well, hello, and welcome to Watch What Crappins, the podcast for all that crap we love to talk about. Honey, your bravs. I'm Ronnie. That's Ben over there. Hi, Ben.
Hi, Ronnie. How are you?
Good. Welcome to your show. You're looking very handsome today.
Thank you. Welcome to your show. You're looking very handsome. Your new set looks beautiful. I've been complimenting you all week. Your lighting is just divine. It is like very professional. You know, here I thought I had caught up by plopping this green screen behind me and getting some lights, and I'm like, I can finally look halfway decent. I pretend like I'm in a fancy room. It's just a virtual screen. And then there goes Ronnie with this beautiful, sumptuous light. Good for you.
Listen, you did perfect. You did the right thing. A green screen is the way to go. I mean, that room looks beautiful. And no one would know it's green screen unless you said it. So,
well, thank you. Unless I wore my other sweatshirt that I was going to wear today, and then I would have been a floating head. Which I think one day I am going to wear a green sweatshirt, and I'll just be a floating head on the show, and I don't care.
Well, actually, everybody, Ben is wearing a now famous shirt. It's black and white horizontal stripes. Is it normally a no-no on a gay? Of course. Does Ben give a fuck? He doesn't. He's paying tribute to the gays in the airport who went viral last week.
You're right.
Getting stuck at the airport. And one of them had a fit at the gate agent, and the gate agent would not let them on the flight. And the other gay was like, "You stop it. Do you want to get home to Shelby and Dolly? Do you? Do you want to get
American Airlines just fucked us. Ladies and gentlemen, American Airlines just fucked. And fuck you, bitch, in the wheelchair."
This lady in the wheelchair
basically
is like,
me and Ronnie when we travel.
Guys, calm down. It's like, oh, fuck you, bitch.
So good. You're right. Actually, technically, this is actually a blue shirt, but because I'm doing green screen, it peels away some of the color, so it's more resembling.
Yeah, you're paying tribute.
And that was in the Charlotte airport, by the way. So, of course, it was in the Charlotte airport.
I mean, what are you having a fit in the Charlotte airport? You can go sit in a rocking chair.
Sit in a rocking chair.
Isn't that the whole point of that airport?
There's a Panda Express and a Burger King right next to each other. There's a TCBY. The only TCBY I've seen in 30 years is in the Charlotte airport.
Literally go sit next to the Mima knitting shit for her grandbaby who's being nursed in the next rocking chair. It's a lane of rocking chairs. Calm down, gays.
Wait, didn't we actually do a bonus episode in the Charlotte airport?
We sure did. We've done a couple, actually.
Yeah.
Airport judgment snaps.
You know, it's funny that we're talking about Charlotte because that's where JT's mom lives, isn't it? Or no, well, that's where they've gone to on Southern Charm. And we're talking about Southern Charm today. What a segue. But first, before we talk about Southern Charm, Ronnie, do you have anything to tell us? Do you have anything special to tell us?
Monday. We are announcing ticket links and the date. Well, the date for sure. Who knows?
Let's just announce dates.
We're announcing the date and the location of the Crappie Awards, the Golden Crappies, the 2024 Golden Crappie Awards. They're going to be bigger than ever. They're going to be more gorgeous than ever. This year, Bravo has tried to do their own awards show, to which we say, ha ha! Oh, just you wait, Henry Higgins. We will show you how it has been done and how it will remain being done.
That's right.
And how it will always be did. Okay? At the Golden Crappie Awards, coming soon. We'll tell you Monday. Join us on Instagram to follow us on Instagram, and we'll tell you there. And also on that recap, which will be Real Housewives of Potomac. Okay.
Yeah. And, you know, will Annette Bening be there? Can't say for sure, but stay tuned to find out.
Annette Bening. I love that's who you jump to.
I'm like, I every year I just want some random actress to be there.
Saltburn? How about Salt Lake City burn?
I just want to say another thing about the Crappies too. I think sometime over the weekend I will probably post up a few stories that'll be like, hey, what are your like favorite Bravo moments or Bravo stars or Bravo villains? Because we need to start assembling the ballot. And like, you know, we've been jotting down notes all year round, but it's hard to remember. So we're going to put up something on our Instagram. Go follow Instagram.com/watchwhatcrappens. And we're going to get all that info, and we're going to try to we're going to actually do 2 rounds of voting this year. I'm really excited. It'll be like a big round that'll whittle it down. And then this way the categories will not be so monstrously huge as they have in the past few years. So help us out and keep an eye out for those questions.
Yeah, thanks for being here and listening, you guys. We are number one in TV and film today, which has been very exciting because there has been another podcast who's been number one, and we've been wanting to beat them so bad. Murder in Boston, which is, nothing against them. I'm sure they're great, obviously. But we've been wanting to beat them so bad, and we finally did today. So no offense to you guys, but yay to us. And we're right next to, on the overall charts, we're right next to Wiser Than Me with Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Wow.
Which is pretty impressive. We're number 62 in the country. So,
oh
guys,
my God.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Salt Lake City. Thank you, Jesus.
Wait, I'm sorry, Ronnie.
Thank you to our agents.
Ronnie. I just got a crazy text. Murder in Boston is Monica. I can't even believe it. Does she ever stop?
We're going to have so much Monica to talk about in Crappy Hour Live Monday. Let's stop advertising things because people really do come here to listen to recaps.
I know.
Like
we just have like a lot. We're
in.
excited. There's like a lot on our plate. Oh.
We're excited. Sorry we make you I listened to another podcast the other day and I was like, this guy won't stop talking about his show dates. I stopped listening in 20 seconds. You know why? Because I am the leader of the Hippocrat Party. Okay. We do it for 10 minutes at a time. But you know what?
But this is exciting stuff. This is actually our most interactive show.
Listen, I'm not
You know what? And everyone's involved and everyone's a part of it. And it's going to be a great time. So
show, it's your show too. Okay. This is advertising for your own show.
Everyone's show. We all come here together. We have a show. We're all doing a show. Okay? Okay,
right,
so it's one of those days.
Let's get into it.
Oh, another thing. This is actually not promoting anything. This is something to let listeners know. We are gonna, unless we run out of stamina, we're gonna check in on Southern Hospitality at the end of this recap. So if you're wondering, we're gonna do a little check-in.
We're still loving Southern Hospitality. It's a great show. We do not mean to diss it over here. There's just too much going on. There's too much, and that's it. So we're still watching it, but we'll talk about it a little at the end, like Ben said. Of this, I don't need to repeat everything Ben said and then complain that it's taking too long. You see how I am? All right, let's get into it. Now, this is not just a Southern Charm recap. This is also a Ronnie admitting what a stupid fuck he is episode. Welcome, everybody. It's like finding the star on the Tootsie Roll wrapper. It doesn't happen often, but here we go.
What happened?
So the last one we did not have the screener. We didn't have the full episode before we went on Christmas break. So we just did the 6-minute trailer that they show on Bravo, or Bravo releases. So I was bored, basically. I'm like, in this show, I've had enough, and Olivia, it's too much. Like, I don't want to listen to Olivia scream at Austin. How shocked are we that Olivia's going to scream at Austin? I'm over it. You know Austin's like this. She's milking it. That was my opinion, okay? I was like, how much are we going to torture this girl Taylor, who deserves every lick of it, by the way? But how much, just let it go. Let the show end. I'm over it. So then, the second after that 6-minute clip ends... Olivia goes to her room. So after our recap ends, I've just left for Christmas going, I'm fucking tired. Olivia's a whiner, basically. So then we go to the commercial break. We come back from commercial break. Taylor is on the phone talking to her brother, and Olivia is sobbing, legit sobbing, not fake sobbing. So I was like, oh, she's not milking it. She really is upset. So at first I was already like, of course we come back from commercial and I'm immediately wrong. This is so me, right? So then she goes and she hears what Taylor is saying on the phone, and Taylor is saying on the phone, oh, whatever, I regret nothing. And it's not like she was ever with Austin anyway. She never had anything going on with Austin. I regret nothing. Like, Taylor went and had her full fucking villain edit on that balcony, and I just finished saying Olivia's full of shit. So you know what? I'm a big person, but...
Wait, so
I'm big enough to admit that I was wrong. Okay.
Wait, no, I'm confused though. I'm confused with your emotional arc. So Taylor has a villain edit moment on the balcony. Why is that redemptive for you with Olivia?
It's not redemptive for me. I was wrong with Olivia. I was saying Olivia is being like, she's milking it.
Oh,
and at this point,
Taylor's
I'm not believing that Olivia even cares anymore. She couldn't possibly still care. But then, and also I was kind of like, what's the big deal? I was kind of minimizing it, in other words. But then we see Olivia crying, and she's really crying. So I was like, okay, she wasn't just milking it. Like, she's really upset. She's hyperventilating upset. And then, Taylor does not deserve any breaks. She was like, those kids, I would have gotten away with it too.
And yeah, you know what? You know what it would have made Taylor less of a villain, and actually I think would have been sort of redemptive, would have been when she did stand up and do her thing, or any of the number of moments. I mean, she should have just said, it would not have been smart, actually. And as I say this, it would not be smart because she has been struggling to eat humble pie. But she should have just said at some point, not to her brother, but to someone like, you guys weren't even a thing. Because by the way, isn't that what we all thought? Isn't that what we all watched? They went on like a few dates. They got like some sort of cheesy tots at a bar someplace. Are they not? There was a dog wedding. They were not together at the dog wedding. She brought a hot guy that we never even saw again. Then he went and hooked up with Sierra, and then they talked by a marsh, and then they were like, maybe we should do something, maybe not. And then they had a reunion where they're like, maybe we're together, They never were anything. And Taylor's right about that. And the thing is that like Taylor should have just been like, she should have just at a certain point, should have just said, you know what? Fuck you guys. You guys were never anything, and you're making me have to grovel right now. What I did was wrong, but also you guys were nothing in the first place.
Well, either way, it worked out how it worked out. It's just funny because I was like, Ben, we should do the first 6 minutes before we go on break. And then, of course, we do it. And I felt like
no, I was glad.
On my fucking face.
Okay. So you know what? So, because of course, by the way, we didn't mention that Olivia then goes into Taylor's room and then has such an Olivia tell-off moment. She's like, speak quieter next time. I can hear everything. And then like runs off.
Yes, I can't hear every word you're fucking saying, and throws something across the room. I think her mic pack, but she threw it across the room. And something else while we're on the were they, weren't they, is this even a real thing that she should be upset about? Someone pointed out the fact that we take 20 pages of notes on an hour of TV and still miss details. Like, this is a big one. I never noticed that Olivia has been wearing such a very similar version of the Ariana revenge dress from Scandival in her. I didn't really notice that it was so similar, and that they're trying to make this like a big Scandival. We knew that they were like trying to play on the Scandival thing, but guys, you're no Scandival.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Scandival is so 2023 right now. It's all about reality Vontees anyway.
It's Dundoval. Okay,
I'm happy with Dundoval. Well, Southern Hospitality is trying to do Scandal, but we'll get to that. So I'm happy we only recapped the first 6 minutes of last week's episode, because honestly, after this, what we recapped and this thing that we're talking about now, then the rest of the episode was literally just like nothing. It was like let's just like paddle along till we get to the finale. It was like Paige and Craig having a dinner party with Madison and Brett, pretending to be grown-ups. Paige holding her nose, pretending she's enjoying being in Charleston yet another day. And that was basically it.
Paige is like, wow, modern farmhouse. Maybe I can get married to Craig. I'm like, okay. Am I supposed to fall for that? What else happened? Oh, well, the big thing that happened before 4, right, was... Oh, no, I guess we recapped this in the first 6 minutes, where Taylor, it's like, dun, dun, dun. Taylor stands up and she's like, I'm going to end this once and for all.
Yeah.
Can I have some bread? The continuation was, she said nothing. Okay. That was the big ending. But yeah, not a whole lot happened. But now here we are at episode 915, Beyond the Valley of the Southern Dolls.
Yeah, because So it opens up with the image that we've all been waiting for: Austin Kroll making a smoothie in a robe, but he doesn't have milk. Of course, this is the metaphor for his life. He's just chopping up beautiful, delicious things, and then not even giving them the nurturement that they need to really flourish.
In his sad makeshift Hugh Hefner robe,
And when is he going to learn how to make crullers? I mean, the brand is right there with your name, for crying out loud.
So really, you wouldn't even have to use milk if you're Austin. Just look into the container and start saying your vows. You'll fum it up in no time. Okay.
Yeah.
So Taylor is with her little dog, Penelope, who I feel like should be taken away and given to a decent home, don't you?
Or
I mean,
least,
do we really ever see Penelope doing anything except these fake scenes where what you're giving her eyes? A, that's putting an eating disorder on your dog. B, you're always at Leva's bar. with your damn day chaser, okay? You're even on Southern Hospitality again. You thirsty ass
Promoting
crack.
day chaser.
Go home. Yeah, it's so sad. Go home. Spend time with your children.
I don't care who Penny is with. I just want her to be what I always forget. What's the lady term for being neutered?
Oh,
Spayed,
you're
fixed,
very
whatever it
wrong
is.
for doing that, for saying
Why?
that. You're so judgmental about dogs. You're so mean to them.
I
Not
know
supposed
Eddie
to get your
Animal.
dog-
Eddie
You're
Animal.
not supposed to get your dog spayed until like they've had 4 periods or something.
Oh well, I didn't know that. Then fine. You could have told me that a few weeks ago.
Well, I didn't know either, but you really went there, and you really went. And I was like, you know what? I support hatred. I love it.
Well, I just felt
but then we got a lot of
irresponsible.
emails where people were like, dumbasses, don't you know how dogs work?
Well, no.
we don't
Now
know
I'm
how
educated.
dog
Thank
vagina
you.
or how dog periods work. We don't know how human periods work. Would you
don't
expect us to
even
know
know.
dog periods?
Listen, okay. Well, I've learned. I'm sorry.
But also, I took Xena, my dog, before Bueller. I had Xena for 16 years. Ghost Xena. I love you, Xena. I miss you. Sorry I replaced you. But Xena was a girl, and I got her spayed. I mean, right when I got her, because I thought that's what you're supposed to do. And even worse, I took her to a mobile spayer where they set
It
up
was a
in like
Starbucks,
the
wasn't
parking
it?
lot of like a Big Lots. And
no.
you go and you donate $20.
Not a big lots parking lot.
So I was
Word.
broke. And
Hey, but you know
everyone's
what?
like, it's so important. Bob Hope was like, don't forget to do it. Betty White was like, don't you dare, you little cunt.
And where are they now?
Don't you dare forget to spay your pet. So I did.
Listen, Xena lasted 16 years. That's a huge amount of time.
That's right.
And so, you know what? I think it all worked out in the end.
Yeah, and I'm 48, and my mother smoked a pack of cigarettes a day and drank a bottle of wine a day, which she brags about constantly. And look at me, I'm doing great. So,
Well, I'll tell you who else is doing great. Craig, little Craig, that is. Shep is feeding little Craig, and now Whitney goes.
no,
and
no. I'm sorry. We can't just go. We can't pass. I'm sorry. I'm going to make Ben even crazier than usual today.
It's okay. It's not like I'm.
Did you
sick.
notice what? You're never going to get off the hook on this show. You could be hit by a car, and I would put a microphone in front of your face in the crosswalk. Like, Ben, what did you think of it?
You talk. I have to tend to my instrument with this tea right now.
Okay, Celine. Well, Celine gets to that. Shep is feeding his dog. Okay. I put Shep is in a terrible shirt, eating meat from the bag while feeding his sad dog. He just gave him cheese. He put salami and cheese in the bowl. He put shredded cheese. Who does that? You don't give your dog cheese. Come on.
I did
Even
not
I
notice
didn't know
that.
that, and I had my dog spayed at the Big Lots parking lot sale.
Wow, that does not seem prudent. I think there's a lot of dog mismanagement happening on this show.
There is. There are people who shouldn't be raising dogs, and I don't think he raised. I think this is like it for him, because once they stop shooting, he's sending that dog back to his mother's, and we all fucking know it.
We all know it, yeah. So then we go over to Whitney. Whitney is FaceTiming Shep, and he's like, "Hey, mother, I'm just going going over some details about the soiree next week to christen my new cottage / pub / office." And then it turns out he's calling everyone, and he's inviting them to a, he says, he calls up, at one point when he's talking to Taylor, he says, "Yeah, the theme is Russ Meyer's arty 60s softcore porn movies." Do you think that Taylor is going to know who the hell Russ Myers is?
Nobody does.
I don't even know who Oscar and Myers is.
Nobody knows. Okay, that's why it's so funny. Whitney, like, trying to have this like young swinging party. It's like, babe, come on. He's like, hopefully, Katharine Hepburn will come.
I know.
Surely she's still around.
And he tells Austin, he's like, if you can be inspired by Return to Valley of the Dolls or Faster Pussycat Kill Kill, that would be great. And Austin's like, yeah, I'll be sure to Google that. I'm like, this guy, his frame of reference, the farthest it goes is Maverick, you know?
Doesn't he make like Step Brothers comments all the time? I mean, that's who you're talking.
No, I meant Maverick, the one with James Garner in the 90s.
Oh, I don't think even that far. I think Austin's pretty much like he's going to give you a Minions quote, you know?
Yeah. By the way, fun fact, Beyond Valley of the Dolls, written by Roger Ebert.
Wow, there you go.
That I think is a legitimately fun fact. It's a fact. That's kind of fun.
That is a fun fact. Yeah, it is fun. He's dead. Okay, so then we go to the seafood house, and Olivia is in a Gucci jacket and sunglasses, and she's meeting Leva, and we find out that it's her brother's jacket, which is sweet. And Leva just hates being anywhere. Why is Leva on this show? I still don't understand. Leva shows up with this tight smile, like, well, look at that. Love your jacket.
I love disdain. Listen, this is a selling point for me with Leva. I don't know. I have actually no problems with Leva. I have to admit, I really have no problems with her. She shows up. I get as much Leva as I need per episode, and moves on.
Okay, well that's fair enough. So then they sit and have a talk, and they're at a counter service restaurant. I'm kind of embarrassed for them because it's Southern Charm. Don't you feel like you would demand 3-course meals every time we went to eat in in Charleston?
Well, there's two tiers. Don't forget, there's 2 tiers in this cast, which is hilarious. This is truly a caste system. There are the actual wealthy cast members, Shep and Whitney. Actually, it's just them because Thomas isn't there anymore. And then you have the peons. So Shep and Whitney go to restaurants. The peons go to fast casual.
Yeah, well, there they are. And they serve gluten-free soup, so that's good. Sounds delicious. So Olivia's like, well, oh my God, like these tables are so low. Aren't they low? Because like you sat in it and you said how low it was. And then when I walked in the restaurant, I was like, this table is low. This table is low. Aren't they low?
And then Leva has purchased a Jamaican soda, which was probably intentional. And she's like, it has a strange aftertaste in it. And Olivia's like, sounds like our trip. Ha ha ha. So Leva's basically saying like, I was wondering how healthy it was for you to be in Jamaica with Austin. And Olivia says, well, I've been so focused on working on a friendship to have him in my life. But then I feel him saying the things he thinks I want to hear. Like, yeah, this table is really low. And he just knows the right things to say.
You need better right things to say. I see it. That's my advice. Get better right things to say. Because we see what she means, and he's saying, at the end of the day, I do love you, Olivia. I do love you. That's not what I need to hear somebody say. I need to hear somebody say, don't worry about keeping your phone open. I've got the Domino's tracker open on my phone. They're 7 minutes away. Hector is 7 minutes away. Okay? That's the right words to me. I just need more than like, I love you. Who cares? Who cares if you love me? Feed me.
I do appreciate Leva saying when Olivia's like, well, I've been working hard on this friendship, but I feel like Austin just says what he said. He just says what he thinks sounds right. And Leva saying, that's so wrong, knowing where you're at. Like I'm just glad someone finally said to her, you realize this is fucked up. This is not right. And then Leva tells us that basically Olivia's in a really fragile place and that everyone should be really conscious of what you're saying to her and acting around her because, her feelings are very, in a sensitive place.
Yeah, and she's like, yeah, well, it is real weird because, like, I'm inconsistent with my feelings because, like, 1 minute I'll be saying to him, like, I hate you, but then the next minute we're, like, cracking jokes and, like, flirting with each other, and then we see their, like, whirlwind romance of flirtation where he's like, ha, 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 and she's like, ha. It's just that kind of idiotic flirtation that nobody else really understands. And I will still stand by this that they might end up together one day because they both have the same mouth actions when they eat.
They do. They really do. It's jarring to see those tongues working together without even touching. So Olivia's like, being around him, I'm like, let me rewire things. I don't want to fight every time I see him, so let me figure out the friends thing. Which again, so like, I know I do this every week. It's like, why does like Austin get a pass and Taylor doesn't? And I'm not saying Taylor should get a pass, but like, again, why do you even care to be friends with him? Like, why do you need to rewire him? You're like, oh, I don't want to fight with him when I see him. Well, you also probably don't want to fight with Taylor, but you're not putting in any effort with Taylor. So I just feel like I hate that Olivia gives Austin second passes. It's less about Taylor. It's more about further evidence that like this is how he fails upwards in life.
Yeah, it is. But, and this is something that kind of takes away from the enjoyment of just pretending everything's real at all times. But this show is really evident. This episode is really evident. I mean, look, she needs to stay on the show. She wants to be on the show. She doesn't live there. She lives in LA. She comes to Charleston to do the show, right? I mean, I think everybody pretty much knows that by now. Or she's very rarely in Charleston. She's basically back there to do the show. It didn't work out with Austin. They brought on a new love interest for her, which was Rod. He's like a spluttering fail. Like, I don't even know how, he's not even a big fail. He's just like a sad, wet fart of a fail. And so that's not going to work. And she needs somebody to shoot with on the show. Like, who's it going to be? I mean, they cannot keep building another season around Taylor and Olivia. They just can't do it. So I think she's just trying to work things out with Austin to have someone to shoot with. Because Taylor's doing the same thing. Taylor can't, I mean, Taylor is looking so desperate, but she wants to still be on the show. So she's going to keep going with, I'm going to fuck Austin or I'm going to fuck Shep. One of the ways, one of these is going to work out. And then you've got JT, who's just like trying to pin everything on Taylor. It's like you're trying to pin your hopes on someone who's trying to pin their hopes on someone, all to get your gluten-free soup for free at the end of the day.
I don't think it's purely show motivated. I do believe that like Taylor has some major damage and she's like drawn to she must have daddy issues. She's drawn to like Shep and I think that she saw a future. She saw like family and kids and all this stuff, and he's this wealthy guy and everything was to be great. I think she was drawn to that. I think she's had a really hard time getting over the fact that like that was an illusion, and I think that she likes Austin because he's tall and he says the right things, and she's very susceptible to like if you say the right thing to Taylor, she's gonna fall for you, unless you're under a certain height threshold. And so I don't think it's purely that Taylor has ulterior motives of like, I just want to be on this TV show. I think that like if she really wanted to be on the TV show, if that was her pure, true motivation, I think she would work harder to actually have a personality. So I think that like that could certainly be in the mix, but I think that it's like I would not discount
the South. I mean, Austin's personality is that he's tall and blonde, and her personality is that she's pretty and blonde. Sometimes that's really all you need in the South. Okay?
Sometimes that's all. You know what? You're right. Sometimes that's all you need to get by in many places, not just the South.
I mean, the fact that she was out and she met Shep and Austin in one night, and Austin supposedly said, if you don't take her home, I'm going to take her home. I mean, that's what they said on the show a few weeks ago. I mean, to me, it's like, to me, it's show motivated. I mean, why else would you talk to Shep and Austin?
I don't know. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of, there's a lot of mysteries in this world. So
it's like math. I don't have to understand it to know it's there. Okay.
Yeah. This is specifically like calculus, and specifically the part of calculus that pertains to derivatives. So, and limits. So Olivia is saying that I think I was hanging on to the tiny shred of hope that Austin would change, but after Jamaica, I'm done with him. And by I'm done with him, I'm going to go watch Step Brothers at his house later tonight.
Yeah, well, it's also the end of the season, so it's pretty easy for everybody to finally be like, and now I'm finally done with fucking Taylor, okay? Now I'm finally, on the last day of shooting, I'm now done with Taylor. So, so JT's event space, which, he's probably living in this, at this point, he's just living, like we've just accepted that he's just living in his mother's event space, right?
Yeah. So I have really, really enjoyed JT this season. I think he's been a great addition to the show, and I really like he brings like a different energy for the men. That being said, I am a little concerned, and I'm actually more than a little concerned. I'm quite concerned about his like Kyle Cook, Tom Sandoval, like silliness on camera shtick that he sort of is leaning into. I don't like when those guys do it anyway, but I also feel like JT, you just got here, so you really like. I don't feel like you've earned the goofy thing just yet, and I don't even think it should be something that should be earned. I don't think we should have it, but like it's like Kyle Cook putting on the wig and all that stuff. You just like roll your eyes. You're like, oh, okay. So that's what JT's doing in this scene. He's like, hey Rod, come on over. Like, check out this is the look I'm gonna wear to the '60s party. And so he's got like his leather vest on, and he's like, it's all tight on him. He's like, what do you think? What do you think, Rod?
Yeah, JT is terrifying to me because I feel like he's a scary stalker. Also, I did just watch Saltburn, And there are some
I saw that.
similarities. I'm just going to say. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it. It was good. I mean, it wasn't the most brilliant thing in the world. Was good. Was worth a watch. Kind of about JT. I'm just
Kind of
saying.
about Monica also. People are comparing it to Monica.
JT, there's more of the sexual element as well, where Monica, that's a huge part of the movie, and that's missing, I think, from the Monica comparison. But you watch it and you tell me, okay? I'm not just going to diss everybody's Monica comparison.
I guess I see what you're saying, though, in the fact that, like, I could imagine JT enjoying a certain beverage.
Yes. And just the whole like waiting until someone has finished bathing to like slurp up that, it's just like you can kind of imagine it because his ex-girlfriend, we had mentioned this, his ex-girlfriend was on TikTok saying that he was kind of a stalker and that he moved to Charleston in some kind of an RV or something down by the river, and basically stalked the cast to be their friends and get on this show. So he does have that Saltburn kind of element going on. And what was the other thing about it? Yeah, there's the thing that scares me about him is the obsession with Taylor. I don't like it. My prediction has always been he's one of those guys that pretends I'm the nice guy. It's the nice guy narrative. I'm the nice guy. Nice guys never win. And if you don't like me, it's because you're a dumb bitch.
Yep.
And I've been waiting for that part to come out, and it does come out a little bit today. And I'm not shocked that I'm right about somebody, but I'm worried because that only gets worse. It doesn't get better with people,
Well, I would not be surprised if JT is like doing the fake nice guy thing. But for right now, all I have is the nice guy thing from him. So I'm actually okay with it. And if next season, he is then unmasked, then great. I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
I'm happy to.
Well,
I'm happy
listen,
to
I
reverse.
love your attitude, and I think it's a very difficult job for you today because I'm just every person we mention, I'm just shitting on them and telling you why I hate them, and then you're like, no, here's why they're not hateable, and I think that that's good. We need that because
I'm not
I don't
saying
know
here's why
what's
they're not.
wrong with me. It's like 2024, and I'm like, you know what? He's a stalker, possibly a murderer.
No. It's not. It's just. It's what it is. Is what's very funny, and this often happens, is that you have more of a conspiratorial view of people. Like, well, I don't trust them because they're only saying this to be on the show. Oh, don't trust her. The way she just chose a Sprite, but she secretly likes 7-Up, but she did that because she wanted to be on the show. Where I'm like, I like that she would drink Sprite, I'm like very much like whatever the show gives me, I'll accept. But the thing is though that I'm the one who usually winds up having to eat crow. I'm the one who like I'll be like, I love this person, and then all of a sudden it's like this person is a racist, and I'm like, well, all right, there we go.
Yeah. You wait for the proof. I don't wait for the proof, which is good, So then we go. I mean, for you, not for me. I'm a terrible person.
I like getting them. I like having a narrative fed to me and just accepting it. Be like, great. I like the story that you're telling me. Maybe not good for life, but like, I enjoy it. It's like I'm a wrestling fan. I love the Hills. I don't care if you just package the content the way you want to package it and give it to me, and I will accept it. Unless I decide I don't want to accept it, which I also always reserve the right to suddenly be like, no. But that's who I am.
Yeah, I hear you. I love who you are. There's no reason.
I love who you are.
I trust who you are. There. How's that?
I trust who you are too.
Even though you're literally only talking to me right now to be on a show. Still. I'm kidding.
The only reason why Ben's been talking to Ronnie for 12 years is so he can be on a podcast.
Okay, so JT's sad mom's event space really does not even listen to his mother. For someone who says mommy and pretends that he respects his mother so much, he still has that terrible couch with those terrible pillows. Both are offensive. I'm his mommy covering my face with my pashmina during this scene.
Yeah, so basically JT, he's got a lot on his mind. He finally gets out of his towel and puts on some clothes, but he's sort of in his costume. And he's like, well, I guess I'll lie down for this, right? Because it's like therapy. So I'm like, stop it. No. You've not earned a fake therapy scene. You sit in that sofa properly and do your scene. So then he's basically talking to Rod about it. And he's talking about how, he's always had feelings for Taylor, but like now he's realized they're not just like a little crush. It's like they're real. They're real feelings. I'm like, I'm pretty sure it was fairly evident there were real feelings since the very first episode when you started getting mad at the guys for how they were treating Taylor.
Yeah, you went into this friend group, you liked one of their girlfriends, and you've been pining for her ever since. I don't know what's so confusing, but you probably should go to a real therapist. Now, before I say this next part, I'm checking my own nose for boogers because JT has a bat in his cave during this scene. Also, my face is peeling off because I got a chemical peel. Hi.
And I'm vastly unshaven because I have a cold this week, and when I have a cold, I become insolent, and I'm like, I'm not gonna do anything, including shaving.
So these two nerds that keep amping each other up until one of them is in prison. That's my note for this scene. Because JT's like, you think she likes me? And Rod's like, definitely. You should totally make a move. He's like, really? You think she likes me? Yeah, bro. Go for it. You know what you should do? Propose in front of everybody. That's what you should do. You know what you should do? You should take her up onto the very, very top of the Swiss Alps where she can't get away and then propose to her.
Yeah, so JT is like, you know what? I'm gonna tell her. I'm nervous. Can you tell? Like, listen, tonight, okay, I'm not gonna say hello to Austin. I'm not bringing up how I feel about Taylor. I'm just gonna go to the party and have a few snacks and go on my way. And Rod's like, hey, bro, you stuck that Austin comment in there real slyly, huh? And he's like, yeah, well, I just don't have any respect for Austin. I mean, candidly, if I never say another thing to him for the rest of my life, I am good with that.
And I realized in Jamaica that Austin cares about no one but himself. Deep down, he's a self-serving, insecure, me-first coward. Okay, you're not wrong, but you're also chasing someone that is like pretty obviously not into you, which kind of shows that you also only kind of care about yourself, which also goes to show that you're probably good casting. Because one thing I will say about JT that I can see for the future is he's going to get a lot worse. So good job casting. I feel like he's a little try hard right now, but I think
it's
overall
good.
It's good casting.
It's good energy. Like, here's the thing. He's interesting.
It's good,
at the very
terrifying
least.
energy.
Good, terrifying energy. And with surprising body. That's also funny with JT, that he surprisingly has a really good body. Okay, so now we go to Madison.
Their bodies, so have fun. Have fun with that.
Well, I do.
I'm a better person than you, so.
Yeah. I judge them in nice ways. I don't judge them if their body is bad, but if their body is good, I'm like, hey, good for you. We now go to Madison's house, and she's doing her hair, and then Brett comes in with some champagne, and then she starts doing his hair. And he's like, no more champagne for breakfast once you get that baby in you, right? And she's like, I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait to have a little alpha inside me. Can't do Madison's voice today. I apologize. Will not be happening. I'm going to stick in the Shep gravel
I'm super
voice.
excited for that. Oh, my God. Honestly, I'm scared. I'm going to get fat and pissed off.
And he's like, I don't care.
She's like, yeah. Oh, my God. I'm sick right now. Am I pregnant? It's the season finale. Hold on. I threw up right now. I was born for corn, but today, corn wasn't born for me. I'll tell you that.
She took her vitamins. That's what happened. But then it turned out that it was just corn kernels. So and then we go to Patricia's house, and Patricia's like, she's in a wheelchair. And she's like, Whitney is going to come up. Let's go over there. And so she's with Paul, her healthcare attendant.
Well, I'm a healthcare professional, and he does skincare, eyeliner, blush. He even clamps the jumper cables on Randy's nipples when they just get too heavy for these little tiny hands.
He can do anything. Wish I knew his name. So she's like, hey, person who's can I call you wheel roller? Hey, WR. Hey, can you tell Whitney to bring me peaches? So then Paul goes downstairs and tells Whitney, hey, your mom wants some peaches. This is a classic comedy of errors. Talk about Peaches the dog, guys.
Whitney's like, okay, Peaches, come on, Peaches, don't run. Peaches, don't run. And Peaches is just barking at him, running away, and then running in a circle and then
Peaches
barking
does
at him.
not want to go up there. Peaches for you, Peaches for me, but Peaches not for Patricia.
Peaches is so sick of hearing how inferior Randy is. He can't fucking take another moment. So Whitney grabs another dog named Roy instead, and he goes upstairs.
The
like,
alternative.
Unfortunately, I couldn't get Peaches, so I got the next best thing. Randy. No. Roy.
No, sorry, Mother. Unfortunately, an ironing board fell on top of Randy this morning, and he's been trying to figure out how to get out from underneath it. So it's been pretty funny. Haven't helped him. You want to go downstairs and see it? It's good.
Mm-hmm. So he tells her that tomorrow's the christening for the cottage, and he's doing an homage to the Beyond the Valley of the Dolls. And she's like, what kind of theme is that?
Oh, Mother, it's a softcore movie from the mid-'60s.
You're the only one who's going to know what that is.
Everyone knows who Russ Myers is. I'm sure like Olivia has like an entire like wall dedicated to him and his work.
Now listen, after a lot of work and money, Patricia's face does not move at all. But the soul in the eyes is there, and just the utter disappointment in this moment. She's just like, wow.
She's like, did you invite any young ladies who aren't working for you? And he's like, no, you can't rush things. You know, you got to find the right girls. I'm like, can't rush things. You're 54. I don't think that anyone would accuse you of rushing anything.
So he's like, I mean, look, it's easy for you to say because you'll just marry someone after a month. And she's like, well, haven't had 3 husbands. I don't know if that had any effect on his outlook on marriage, but I want him married now. I did it after a couple of minutes. I don't know why he can't.
You know, it's something to think about, Whitney, because, you know, when I kick the bucket, who's going to take care of you? Not Randy, that's for sure. He's stuck under an ironing board right now.
I'm going to depend on you to kick the bucket that I will on top of Randy's head every single day. That's how I want to live on. Just a new dong into the side of Randy's temple.
It was actually kind of a bittersweet, or not bittersweet, like a slightly melancholy moment, because she tells us, you know, that she wants Whitney to have a family, and he's an only child, and having his father passing away, then her going through this accident, it seems like life is slipping away. And like, it's interesting because it always seemed like, oh, she just wants to marry him off, but I can see that she's concerned that like he's gonna be just like alone in the world, and like all the people that are around him are totally incompetent. So like, who will take care of him when he's old and needs to be taken care of?
Oh, Jesus.
Serena Altschul?
This is fucking someone you pay for, okay? Someone you don't have to pretend to fucking like. That's what I say. Here's who's going to take care of him. The remaining members of Renob, okay? And let's not diss that. That is valid. That is a valid existence.
Maybe it'll be, what's-her-face from season 1. Can't even remember her name. Not even worth it.
Yeah. It's not.
Becca.
Everyone gets ready, and we find out. Did we know this whole time that his cottage? Have we heard about this cottage? I don't think so.
Last week we did.
We did?
Last week he mentioned that the cottage was where Michael was living. And so now Whitney's taken it over, and he's renovated it and turned it into kind of his like bachelor pad. It's where he like lives, but it's also like a bar space. So he's like, this way I don't ever have to go out to bars in Charleston.
Oh, okay. So it's right at Patricia's house, this new cottage, and the party rentals are arriving and setting up and everything. And let's see, Paige and Craig are driving over, and Paige is like,
so why is this party in the 60s? Is that when Whitney was born? I don't get it.
Yeah, and then before that, they're getting dressed, and Craig is like, hey, Paige, are you going to wear this green dress? She's like, yes, Craig, of course I'm going to wear it. I bought it like 7 years ago, and I've been like waiting for some time. I was like, I'm going to buy this dress because I know at some point in my life, I'm going to go to some stupid party in some stupid part of this country and have to wear it. And here it is. This is the moment, Craig.
And he's like, hey, Siri, what year do you have to be born if you're currently 54 years old? 1969. What an amazing job they've done with that little robot assistant. I mean, you can't even open the calendar. You don't even need to open the calendar anymore. I mean, the calculator on your phone anymore.
Can't you even just say? It's also he's asked it in such a strange way. Why doesn't he just say? Can you say, "Hey Siri, what is 2023 minus 54?" You know?
Yeah, they've really improved that.
54 is 1,969.
Thank you.
Wait a minute.
Pleasure.
Oh, okay, that's enough.
Is that the year that we went to the moon?
And he's like, why do you think we never went back?
She's like, because it was fake, of course. I can't get Wi-Fi in certain areas in Charleston, but we went to the moon and streamed it to everyone. I don't think so.
So then, before that, then Erica and Whitney are Whitney's now in the backyard, and Erica, the party planner, is there, and she is like setting stuff up, and Whitney's being really awkward around her because it's like a lady, and so he's like, yeah, you look nice and everything. She's like, yeah, I like your jacket. And she's like, yeah, something casual for daytime, mother. And she's like, so are you wearing 2 types of glasses today? I mean, I don't know. What do you want me to say to you? Oh, yeah, these are non-prescription, and I have them in case I have to read my phone for something very, very important, But it looks like the weather's going to stop in half an hour, so yeah. She's like, I know. Yeah, so the weather's going to stop. I know. It's like, wow, I can't believe this guy hasn't been able to find a girlfriend in all these years.
I know, it's crazy. He's like, it's going to rain. She's like,
I have tarps if I need them.
it's like, okay, are you sure?
Yeah. Also, if you can't get your shit together by the time your mom's passed, I've just been asked to cover you in one. So pick your color.
So the tarps do come out because it starts pouring rain, and Paige gets out of the car, and she's like, good thing I wore rain boots because I'm a genius, unlike you, stupid idiot, Craig. Come on, hurry up. And they're just getting wet, and they're all arriving in the rain.
So Shep looks the part. He looks like a creepy, washed-up director.
I was like, I thought he looked good, actually.
Sunglasses.
I thought the look works for him.
Well, there you go. It's a creepy guy gonna come onto a bunch of like 20-year-old people who want to be actresses.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. And he's like, my name is Taylor. I'm from Dusseldorf. Oh, Taylor, it's a different country, stupid. I like art and fashion and new wave. Gosh.
And then it cuts to Taylor. Taylor's in glam with her roommate Louise, who we haven't seen in like weeks and weeks and weeks. Louise must just hate Taylor. I just feel like Louise is only in it at this point to be invited to a party, and she finally got the invitation this time around. So Taylor's like, so the other day, Shep texted me and was like, we'll have a conversation at the party. And Louise is like, oh, really? Like, regarding what? Ugh.
She's like, really? I have no idea. But like, he's like, we're going to talk. Louise is like, I know it's like really difficult for you just being his friend, Taylor. I get it.
Yeah, well, our friendship has been confusing. Everyone's still like, he loves you. And Louise is like, well, I've always said it. Actually, I think what I've always said is, I'm sorry I wasn't listening. Could you say that again? I'm doing something just significantly more interesting than whatever you're talking about.
I've always said it because I'm extremely bored but too old for toys. He still loves you, Taylor. Now go run around in circles and put tracking devices on his car because honestly, it's hilarious.
I've got to get back to The Bachelor now. So Taylor's just saying that her interactions with Shep lately have been actually really good, and it looks like they've been able to have like a good friendship, and maybe there might still be something there. No, Taylor,
God, Taylor.
You left him for a reason. Like, yes, you guys have chemistry.
I don't think she left him.
Or he,
Didn't
whatever.
he break up with her?
Did he? I forget. Either way, he wasn't good for you, Taylor.
Yeah, I don't remember what happened there, but she still wants back in. I don't know. It's just cringy. Please. Listen, you haven't done the right thing a whole lot this season, but I still want the best for you. Like, this is not it.
No.
This is not it.
Honestly, it really is not. So now we have Austin getting dressed, which is always exciting. And his sister Katie is there, and Katie's going to come with Austin to the party tonight. And Austin's just saying that he's really hoping that Olivia's going to apologize to him.
So he's a sociopath, right? I
Yeah.
know we're not supposed to say like guess people's whatever afflictions, mental afflictions, but at this point, I mean, come on. Like, how long do we have to watch this show before everyone just looks at each other and they're like, okay, he's a sociopath? Because who says that? You expect her to apologize to you? And then his sister laughs in his face and he's like annoyed at her. Like, yeah, I do expect it.
And then he's like, I can't walk on eggshells anymore around all these people. Oh, so he's the real victim in all this.
Oh my God, you're the egg breaker. You're an egg breaker, an omelet maker. Sorry.
Yeah, just with your tongue alone. So now we're at the cottage, and so people are arriving. So Austin and Katie show up. Now this sums up Austin. I don't know if you noticed this. They show up. They both have like cases of trop hop. It's raining. And he just speeds up ahead of his sister. Did you notice he just leaves his sister in the dust? And he just walks in, and she just is like comes in behind. And I know that she's not like a date or anything, but I just think it's like if you were arriving at a party together with someone, that you just like walk ahead like that. I don't know. I just thought it's just like it just shows how self-involved, how classless he is, how like boorish he is. I just thought it was like so like. I don't want to say ungentlemanly. It's not ungentlemanly. It's just like so obnoxious to do. You bring someone to a party and then you just go up ahead. There's a reason why Dorinda Medley got mad at Heather Thompson all those years ago. And it's for moments like these.
Yeah. And also, nobody wants your trop slop. Get it the fuck out of here. Stop trying to promote yourself at everybody else's thing. You're gross, okay? It's gross. So he's like, let's talk your
By the way, I don't think he's trying.
He's just like...
I don't think he's trying to promote himself. I think he's just trying to get rid of inventory at this point.
He's like, my parents won't keep this in their garage anymore. I said,
yeah, like gotta pawn it off.
So Shep sees Taylor talking to Craig, and Shep just keeps giving her these awkward looks, like awkward, angry looks. You know how Shep does when she talks to literally anybody else, and starts chugging down the brown liquor. And then he's like, hello, Louise? Hi, Louise. She's like, hello. And Taylor is, she's like, wow, I can tell Bailey's back in town, Shep, because you got a haircut.
I was like, wow, I forgot about Bailey. Invoking Bailey. Spoiler alert, on Southern Hospitality, we also had another flash from the past. The one and only Landon showed up. Oh. So it's real...
Just another mark on JT's card. JT's like, oh my God, one of my best friends.
I know. By the way, that was a turn. You know what? That is an issue for me. Yeah, that is an issue.
Don't sit here and try to tell me everything's okay with JT when he's bringing the dolphin.
He brought. Yeah, she is. Yeah, it always reminds me of how vast and wide the Southern Charm universe is. There's so many people in it, and most of them are awful. So Shep tells us, he's like, gosh, I might not be at this point in time to be able to have friendship with Taylor because this just is not working. I was like, oh, that means he found another girl. He's found another girl, so he's got to sever the friendship with Taylor.
Well, my guess is what he was doing this whole season was they put Taylor on the show, obviously, to have drama with him. And so he was like, okay, I'm just going to suck it up and kind of lead her on a little bit throughout the season so that it's like minimize the damage to me. And now that it's the season finale, he's like, okay, and now we're officially fucking done. So please get off of my show. But are they together again?
I don't know. But, we see a flashback to last week where Shep and Winnie had a conversation where Shep talked about how Taylor showed up unannounced at his house. And Shep was like there at his house with a couple of girls, and she just showed up. And he's starting to worry that like he's been leading her on, which normally I'd be like, oh, you're so self-involved. But then we did just hear Taylor say, makes me think that there still might be something there because his friendship is going so well. So it's like,
yeah, JT and Taylor, you're both stalkers, and two stalkers can't make it together. You know what I mean? You need somebody to follow. It can't just be both of you. You can't be following each other. Like one stalker, you need to have like a stalker and a victim. You can't just have two stalkers.
Yeah. So Shep, Shep says he wants to draw some lines in the sand. So now Olivia and Leva show up, and Olivia, bless her heart, she doesn't know how to bring an umbrella through a gate. She's like, how do I do this? And she like lifts it super, super high to get it over. And Leva just like puts it sideways and goes through. And Olivia's like, oh yeah, I guess I could have done that.
And so she's like, honestly, it's like a relief to not have to act like I'm friends with Taylor. And Taylor sees her and she goes, well, I was hoping to make amends in Jamaica, but like, I literally did everything I could when I said Austin and Olivia never even dated, and I regret nothing. So, just can't do anymore.
Yeah, Taylor, you got to work on that. So, Austin's like, "Where's Olivia?" And then there's more drinking, and then Madison and Brett show up, and Whitney's like, "Oh, you look like porno Jackie O." You get the reference? She's like, "Who's that?" All his reference. I love. I just waiting for his like. He's gonna be like, "You look like a horny Patty Duke."
I would join you on that, but we pretty much reference Empty Nest and Sisters twice a week.
That is a full 20 years younger than Whitney's references. So, like, there is a statute of limitations, but
That's true. So Vanita comes with her boyfriend, and it's not that I have a problem with Manny. Okay, I really don't. Justice for Charles. What the hell? Charles had a whole arc this season. He tried on sweaters. And now guess what? It's the season finale and I don't get Charles in a sweater. Like, did you ask Charles what to wear tonight? Because I wouldn't know it from watching this show. Justice for Charles.
yeah, I guess. I don't know. I was pretty happy to have a Charles free episode, to be honest. So then not to like know about you, but you know, it's hard for me to really rally for Charles. I'm not gonna lie. You know, Charles is only wearing those sweaters to be on this TV show.
Charles is only Vanita's friend to be on this TV show. So he's just a user, just like the rest of them.
So yeah, so then there's more hugs and kisses, and then Rod and JT show up, and you know, JT of course is like, "Hey Taylor, you're cold. Do you want my vest to warm up? You need this? That'd be nice, right? Do you love me now?"
He's like, "I'm a gentleman from the 60s. She's like, no, it's okay. And then Shep is looking at them funny. And then Austin's looking at them funny. And then Austin's doing his lip lick thing.
Yeah.
And then Madison goes up to say hi to Patricia and her gigantic iPad. And she's like, "You look fabulous, Miss Patricia." She's like, "I didn't know you were doing pink today, but I'm in pink too. Look at your boobies. I've never seen them so contained. Those boobies are more contained than Randy in the back of my trunk at the moment. Hold on, let's baby cam Randy. Randy, you okay down there? Please. I'll do whatever you want. Please. LOL, Randy."
I like that Madison forces Brett to like come join and like pour them champagne and then walk away because she goes, "Brett, let's go." She's like, they're just like talking. She just barks at him, says, "Better come this way." So
Well, she tells him, "Go get us some cute glasses because those are her favorite glasses." And then he comes up. Were those coupe glasses?
I think they were.
Were they just a different shaped coupe glass? They look like flattened martini glasses.
I agree. They
But
were
I
not
don't
like.
know. I don't have the breeding to know if those
They
were
were
coupe
like-
glasses or not.
They were like a play on cube glasses. I'm sure Miss Patricia, the art history major that she is, would say these were actually from the Bauhaus movement. At that time, the brutalist artists did not like curves. They wanted everything to be straight lines and angled, and that's why Mies van der Rohe, he built that building in Chicago so that would reflect the edifice of a coupe, a modern Bauhaus coupe.
You sure said my name a lot tonight, Miss Patricia. Oh, God, call the police. It's the ginger gay back from the dead. Hopefully everybody at this party is being escorted by someone of the opposite sex.
Just the way it was always intended to be in Charleston, where I'm not from.
Oh, Cooper, the original gay of Southern Charm.
We
really need some updates on Cooper. I think that they should bring Cooper back. You know, like how they brought Naomi back just for a little bit. Just bring him back for a season. Let's see.
He's probably coaching pageants somewhere, and being like, "Oh, well, I'm sorry, I will not. I have to leave this practice right now because my wife needs me. Excuse me." And I am married. You just haven't seen her yet. She's been in Europe.
So Madison is talking about having a baby with Patricia, and she's like, well, last time you had a baby, as I recall, you were gone for 3 months. And she's like, yeah, because I broke my pelvis and I was on bed rest. And Patricia just looks at her like, this hair ain't gonna comb itself, you little bitch. No babies for you.
You know, that's what I think about. Whitney is an only child, and when I kick the bucket, he doesn't have cousins. And Madison's like, well, you're not going to kick the bucket. I'm sorry, I meant when I kick Randy. You know, he doesn't have any cousins that he can, have circle around and watch. It's just him watching.
So Madison's like,
Okay, great. Well, glad we had a nice talk about this new baby. Might being able to break my back. This was super fun. Gonna go down to your son's weird whorehouse down there.
good luck. Hope he finds someone to commit to him in that den of sin.
Meanwhile, down in the den of sin, which is, by the way, kind of just looks like a fancy version of Snoopy's doghouse. Manny and Austin are excited because they bought the same shoes at Gwen's, which I think is hilarious. I don't know. They're so excited. Like, did you get these at Gwen's? Yeah, I got it at Gwen's. Yeah, bro.
It also goes to show you that Gwen just doesn't care about you. That girl does not care about her customers. If she could do that to people, you know that they're on the same show. Why are you letting them buy the same shoes, Gwen?
They need. You know what that store needs? A good, reliable intern to really help the customers out.
They really need someone to advertise for them on social media. Okay, so Olivia hugs Rod, and she's doing that Olivia thing where she's like, where Rod's like, something funny, and she's like, ha 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 ha, ha ha ha. Please stop making me flirt with Rod for the cameras, please.
She's like, if I had a dime for every time Rod had made me laugh, I would be the way the cookie crumbles. He's like, that's not what that expression. That's not how you say it. So JT's like, hi, Tyler, you want to talk over here, like a few feet away from everyone else? Okay, cool. So, hey, the rain's hitting my coif. So look, I'm wet. I got long, wet hair now. Hey, so, you were one of my best friends. You and baby, basically Poppy Seed, that lovely dog that my mom, I guess my mom's, okay, Mama's number 1, Poppy Seed number 2, but you're number 3, okay? And so in Jamaica, we were having fun. Like, we were laughing the whole time. Mainly I was laughing and you were staring at me, and I laughed really loud, and I said, I'm laughing for both of us, remember? So that was basically you laughing too. Anyway, we spent every flight side by side, even that flight where you're like, actually, we can have different seats. And I was like, no, I'll sit here. And you're like, we really don't have to sit next to each other. And I was like, no, I insist. So we really had a lot of fun.
And she knows what's coming. She's just looking at him so awkwardly, drinking, looking around for an exit, And she's like, yeah, well, when I need comedic relief, you're my guy. Oh, God.
That's even beyond the friend zone.
Abort.
I mean, we've seen friend zone, but that's how do you push through the friend zone? I've never heard of the comic relief zone. That's just like
I have.
That was brutal. Oh, Ronnie.
Been there. But yeah, I was like, run, JT, run. There's no time in history has anybody ever said, when I need comedic relief, I know you're the one I want to marry. Nobody. So JT's like, well, I just need to say something and get it off my chest. Which at this point, look, I don't think he's a stupid person. So I think at this point, he knows she's going to say no because of what she just said. But it's more important for him to get hurt on camera by her so he can turn her into a villain later. Let's watch, shall we?
Well, every time we hung out, it was just constant laugh and joy, even when you were crying and saying, please get out of my house. You're not supposed to be here. I mean, that's just so rare to find, right? And she goes, well, I obviously love our friendship. And I know you love our friendship. And I just want to say in life, there are steamships and other ships, but the most ship of the ships is the friendship, which is you. You're a friendship. You're like your friendship.
He's like, I love you.
Friendship.
What are you not hearing, sir? What are you not hearing? And he's like, I would marry you tomorrow. And she's just like awkward, drinking from her, just kind of drinking and looking around. So then Vanita gives a jacket to Olivia to sit on outside because it's, a little rain got on the furniture. And she goes, more of a gentleman than Austin's ever been. And then Austin comes over. He's like, hey.
He goes, let's go talk.
Let's go talk, huh? Let's go talk. I want to go talk. And Vanita goes, she's not going to do that.
But Olivia's like, no, I'll do it. It's fine. I just love the way Austin just comes and just demands that they talk. So they go back to JT. He goes, no, I just want to tell you, pretty lady, it's there for me. Everything is there for me, okay? I mean, look at this boner I got right now. It's poking right through my vintage jeans. You see that, right? She goes, yeah, well, we haven't crossed that friendship threshold. So it's like, what if you hated it? Like, you don't know. I could be a total psychopath. He's like, honey, I've been watching this season along with the rest of America. I mean, I'm part of it. Okay? You've got a free ticket with me.
It's like, you are a total psychopath. And you know why? It's psycho to me knowing we could die tomorrow to not give it a try. Sir, no. She said no. How many times does she have to say no? Walk away. Please, you fucking creep. So there's sad music, and Shep is now giving them looks like, what the hell's going on over there? And she's like, well, I just think that there's a lot going on, and Shep's still here, and, I need to process and to heal and, to move forward. And then she tells us, I mean, listen, he's not the only one constantly disappointed by Taylor because, I want things to be okay with Taylor. But I know they're not because I listen to what she says. She's like, I wish I could wake up and just make JT my person, but I like the assholes. Girls just want a bad boy.
I hate that. I hate that so much.
I hate that too.
It's like the worst. Boys will be boys. So then Shep interrupts. And he's like, Karsh, you didn't comment on my leather jacket. Where's yours, JT? And Taylor's like, I guess yes, he said that to Taylor because I didn't wear it because it's not very 1960s. And then Shep just goes over and he's like, oh, JT, you look like an early Justin Bieber. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, every time Shep or Austin talks to JT, they have to make him as small as possible. He's like, wow, nice work, Bieber. And Taylor's like, bye, appreciate the talk. A bad boy incoming.
So JT's like, well, I just want to make sure there's no awkwardness between us, and I'm just going to go back to suppressing my feelings. He goes, listen, there's a saying about how the good guy never wins. Well, except for Braveheart, the good guy always wins. So maybe I'm not the one, but one day eventually Taylor's going to find a good guy. Guys like Austin will lose. I'm like, unfortunately, she will not find the good guy, and unfortunately, Austin will continue to fail upwards.
So then Shep, they go inside and he puts his drink down. She's like, don't put your drink on her nice table. Let's use one of these gigantic glitter frogs to put them into. Because, of course, Patricia's got these giant frogs that you put your full glass into.
Those are the shoes I make Randy wear around the house, actually.
Okay, well, there. So what was JT talking about over there, huh? Wait a minute, did you guys hook up? Because I saw you guys dancing, carrying on.
And she goes, no. In Jamaica? Hell no. See, now, Taylor, you just gave your tail away. Because when asked if you hooked up with JT, who you definitely did not hook up with, and we believe that because you seem totally deeply uninterested in him, you're like, ugh. You got like a look, like she got like a look of revulsion, and she, for the first time this season, she may have even like had a cadence of some sort of emotion in her voice. Whereas with Austin, she's like, no, did not hook up whatsoever. So you just kind of like revealed yourself right there.
Well, I think also she, just another take. I mean, who knows? But I think that also she knows that Shep wouldn't care about, like Shep looks at JT as pathetic, but he looks at Austin as competition. So she wouldn't want to diss herself in Shep's eyes by saying that she did anything with JT. Whereas she knows it would be riling him up and getting him jealous if she did something with Austin.
And I think on some level, it's like embarrassing to say you hooked up with JT, whereas in the weird world of Southern Charm, it's not embarrassing to say you hooked up with Austin. So it's like, oh, JT, no, I mean he's short. Come on, let's don't do that to me.
The world is such a cruel fucking place.
It's so cruel.
And here we are. It's like we're on it, but jeez.
Listen. I love a short king, as they say, but Southern Charm, they don't. They do not.
So, and who doesn't? Alpha males. They really do not like. That's like their ultimate weapon against the short guy. I mean, poor fucking guy. Okay, so then we go probably literally. Okay, so then we go to Austin and Olivia talking on the couch, and he's like, oh, "You look nice." Well, I'm just like, like I want to talk to you in lieu of Jamaica,
which makes no sense, by the way, as a sentence.
Could you
instead of Jamaica,
put on your Hugh Hefner robe to say that again? So, I mean, what I'm talking about?
Listen, we all mess up our words. I think I just did it a few minutes ago. But knowing that it's Austin trying to sound fancy, trying to sound, like he's always trying to sound erudite or educated in the way that like Whitney and Shep are. And so when he's like, oh yeah, I'm just trying to talk to you in lieu of Jamaica.
I love that you threw an erudite in there just to cement your point. I mean,
exactly.
Snapple Mandelker flavor.
There you go.
It was delicious.
Okay.
It was delicious.
But I say things wrong. I improperly said that Heidi Klum was from Sweden the other day, and she's clearly from Germany, and someone pointed that out, and like everyone knows that. I know that.
I didn't. I was like, oh, really? When you said that, I was like, I guess I should have known that.
I don't know why. I was thinking, isn't there some really super famous supermodel from Sweden though? Like
no,
it feels
only
like
ugly
all
people from Sweden. Yeah, only hideous people from Sweden.
That's a Dwell Hello. By the way, that's on Dwell Hello, which you guys should all listen to because it was really good this week on Wondery Plus. So anyway, in lieu of Jamaica, because I'm intelligent.
In lieu of Jamaica.
Yeah, and what I want to get to the bottom of is that things seem to be very one way when we talk like this, and then another way when we talk in public.
Yeah. And she's like, well, I mean, I know I've been inconsistent, but like, it's just like not a good friendship because like, it just seems like nothing is genuine and that's not friendship. And he's like, oh, I'm just trying to be there for you, Olivia. That's all I've ever done, Olivia. She goes, no, you're not. And he goes, when have I ever not been there for you? What?
And I like that she started to say, you get off on pitting two girls against each other, but he interrupts her. And so she goes, you don't even know what I'm going to say. Look at the paper trail of pissed off women. I was like, I love the paper trail of pissed off women. Like they're in an investigation. Like, wait a second. This credit card, this tracks back to a pissed off woman. Oh my God, the paper trail. It goes to, hey, this paper trail leads to Heidi Klum in Sweden. So... she's like, we all have the same thing to say about you. At what point do you want to stop having conversations and actually have one with yourself?
Oh, God. So then we cut back to Taylor and Shep. And Shep's like, Taylor, I know that I just acted super jealous that you were talking to a short person and possibly you fucked a short person instead of me. But now that I find out you're still pathetic, I just want to get to the place where we can be supportive and kind. And, the past few months, did we have a couple of good situations? Sure. That was, remember when I emotionally abused you in front of everybody on that vacation and then we ended up sleeping together? God, good times. Am I right?
All over ping pong. And she goes, yeah, I guess my cool step was in hopes for something more. Yeah, but gosh, your cool step was in hopes of something more. Why? Do you want to get back together just the way I want to get back together with my DVD box set of the Vietnam War?
And he's like pounding his foot under the table. Like his whole body is he's freaking out. And she's like, possibly, which, what did you think? She just showed up at your house unannounced and knew that you had two girls there. I mean, what do you think is going on? So then we cut back to Olivia and she's like, well, I appreciate the times you've been my friend, but right now you're not.
Yeah, well, that's because this whole thing you're flipping it on its head, and it's not what I was expecting to happen at all. I mean, I was thinking, hey, Olivia's going to come to me and say, holy shit, Austin, I'm sorry that I let my emotions get the best of me.
What? You thought I was going to apologize to you? That was hilarious. Just the look of shock on her face. She was like, wow, you are really fucking hopeless. Wow.
And the look of entitlement on his face. It was brilliant.
She's like, oh my God, if you took your head out of your narcissistic ass right now, you would see that I'm going through a few things, and apologizing to your dumb ass isn't one of them.
There's definitely a major disconnect here. And she goes, yeah, I couldn't agree more. I'm like, well, yeah, there's a lot of things disconnected between the two of you two. But between the two of you two, okay, talk about disconnected. Redundancy. So she's back to Shep. She's like, I'm a hopeless romantic. And at the end of the day, what's more romantic than being back with the guy who said he enjoyed cheating on me while he was fuming over losing ping pong?
I'm hopeless romantic. What has he done that's romantic? That's a scary thing. You're not a hopeless romantic. You're just hopeless.
I was about to say, that was one word too long in that sentence.
Yeah. And she's like, well, happiness outweighs the rest. He's like, does it? She goes, can I speak? I mean, I love and care about me, but I also love and care about us. And he's like, Taylor, us is over.
I don't think it's repairable. And she's like, then why are we sitting here talking? Because I want to know if we can be supportive of one another. What don't you understand? I don't want to be friends. I don't want to have a relationship with you, but I want to know if we can be supportive of one another.
He's like, well, I mean, are we allowed to bring a date around? She was just talking to JT, and you couldn't stop sitting there, getting your eyes all beady and red and staring at him and snapping your foot, you're patting your foot down on the ground and licking your Coke lips. So probably not. Okay. But I guess he's getting his permission to start bringing around girls without her losing her mind.
That's what it is. And Taylor's like, well, what if I want to date Austin? What if I want to get revenge sex on you?
God, the cringe. Between Taylor and JT, it's just hard to watch this.
She goes, Austin? Wow, that's who you want to date, Austin? And she goes, well, what if I want to date? And he basically, he's like, his head is in his hands. He's like, well, I'll shake my head and be like, wowza. And she's like, so just say it would bother me. Just say that. It's like, well, if you were honestly in love with each other, I would not stand in your way, but I probably would yell a lot and get drunk.
And so she's all mad. So then JT is still standing in the same position, emoting for the cameras. And Rod brings drinks to him, and he's like, what'd I miss? And he's like, I told her I love her, and I do. And she was like, appreciate you.
So now he's sad.
Advice, Rod. Thanks
and then the Shep and Taylor conversation is still going somehow. And he's like, Taylor, why are you mad at me? She goes, I don't get it. It's like, well, we can't coexist and be supportive of each other.
He's like, forget the romantic stuff. You do your thing and I'll do my thing. I'll still message you. Wait a minute. If it fucks with you, I won't. God, you're still such a piece of shit. You're like, we are broken up. Nothing is going to happen. We can still fuck it. I can still text you to come fuck me, right? We're going to still keep that part up, right?
So this is where, Ben, who just takes things on face value, says he was just saying, hey, if I message you to say happy birthday or hi or what's going on or there's a party, you're not gonna is this gonna fuck with your head and make you think that I'm interested in you again? And she's like, yeah, don't do that. She basically says, and by the way, I was proud of her for this. I'm glad she said, I know it sounds selfish, but don't do that, because that's what she's needed. She's needed a clean break from him, and she's not able to move forward until she really gets some separation.
So he's like, okay, thanks for talking to me. I guess I don't know what to say. I'm just, I'm sorry for anything in the past, I guess, but in the future, I'm going to be your biggest advocate. Okay, now that could mean lawyer, but obviously I'm not a lawyer, but you might need one if you continue to stalk me. Okay, so good luck.
And then she goes in the bathroom and cries. And he says, it breaks my heart. I want her happy even if I'm not with her, but I've made the right decision. And maybe we can be happy in the same realm and be happy for each other or the same room. I don't know what he said. He's like, but that's his goal, that they can be happy together at some point, but separately.
And Vanita leaves. Great season.
And falls down the stairs.
Yeah, it falls down a little bit. And then Craig sees Olivia at the bar with Paige. And Paige, so Olivia's like chugging. And Paige is like,
Wait a minute. You're drinking tequila with no ice? That's a serial killer move, Olivia.
she's like,
It's not, I am.
Craig, get me out of this forsaken part of the country. So then, now we go to the cottage. And now this is where the show pivots into being like an 80s movie. Because we will have Austin. Austin now steps into his greatest role, which is every villain in every 80s teen movie. So everyone's drinking they're drinking in the cottage, and JT is on like a bar stool, but he's like kneeling on it because he's kneeling so that way he can kind of like bend over the bar and like point at what he wants to drink or something. And so he's up there, and Austin comes in, and Austin like blows a kiss to Taylor.
oh, I thought he was blowing a kiss to JT.
I wasn't totally sure, but I thought maybe it was the tail. You know what?
Because Austin's like, season finale time to fight with somebody shorter than me. That's, I looked at his like power dynamics. Like, yeah, I'm going to go alpha this guy.
Yeah.
So he blows a kiss to JT in my mind. And JT's like, I still can't believe Taylor kissed Austin, but she still doesn't want me. Which there it is. He looks at her as damaged goods, and that's why he had a chance. Gross. You know what?
She doesn't want me.
I fucking knew it. All I needed to hear from you this whole season was that line. That's all I needed. So thank you for giving it. Thank you for proving me right to at least myself.
And he's like, and she doesn't want me, an actual, successful, good, positive man. And well, I took it as
name
like
one,
I took it as him saying, "Wow, like here I am. I'm like the total package. I got poppy seed on speed dial, and I'm giving her everything she would need, and then she goes for that schlub." That's how I took it personally.
Like she'll be with a piece of shit, but she won't be with me, an actual good person.
Yeah. So JT raises his glass. He goes, to Shep. And Shep goes, oh, thanks. Finally get the recognition I deserve. Because, by the way, Shep likes JT right now because JT hates Austin. And the more that someone hates Austin, the more Shep will like them.
Yes, exactly. So Austin's like, what are you squealing about? Because, okay, so
He walks
Austin,
up to JT.
Austin comes over to JT, and JT is still on this bar stool, right? Kneeling on it. And Austin goes, wow, finally, you're at my eye level. I did tell you to get on a chair next time you wanted to talk to me, and you did get on a chair to get on my eye level. Oh.
Sick burn. But it was such an 80s. That was such an 80s villain line, right? He walks up with his 80s hair, and and so JT's like, you're a real snake and a coward. He's like, oh yeah, what are you squealing about, JT? He goes, you have been the genesis of why there's so much pain in here. And he's like hitting his heart.
Fucking JT. So Austin's like, it's you. He's like, who? Dude. So he tells us, dude, he's the one who initiated this whole thing when you turned up your nose where it doesn't belong. And JT's like, everyone here said it. Everyone here. Like they're both going to try and have their moment coming at each other. Oh.
And Austin's like, what have they said? Regale me. You hear that, Whitney? I used the word regale. And JT's like, you are an arm's length friend who cannot be trusted around any woman. Now, I believe that everyone said that. I believe that JT is not lying about that. And so Austin's like, JT, why are you so upset about it? I just want to understand, like, where are you coming from? And he's like, I want to understand how you can be such a piece of shit in this town.
Hey, JT, stop, JT. Taylor's over there like, stop, JT. And he goes, oh, yeah, you're going to yell at the girl you went after? He goes, no, I'm not. I'm not yelling at the girl I went after. And Taylor's like, for you to be coming at Austin like this? Come on. And he's like, wait a minute, are you taking his back? I'm never going to forget this. I'll never forget this, Taylor.
And Austin's like, what are you so upset about? And Austin tells us, oh, now I get it. He's jealous of me. JT is so jealous of me. He wanted Taylor so bad, and I get the girl. JT doesn't. Guys like JT don't get the girl. I get the girl.
Gross. gross.
It's gross. Gross. Sadly
Can't
true,
wait to
but
see
gross.
how many girls you're getting when your hair continues its journey of completely falling out and you age and you don't have this TV show anymore after your beer failed. So
Yeah.
good luck. Keep that
Unfortunately,
running, buddy. Okay.
Unfortunately, we can't use the word paycheck in that sentence either.
Exactly.
So JT's like, Shep called you a boy in a sandbox that wants everyone else's shiny toys. And Austin's like, yeah, well, Shep was upset, buddy. And yeah, well, because you fucked his girlfriend. And Taylor's like, whoa, 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 whoa.
And I love that now that JT is mad at Taylor, he's just like, we're not friends anymore, so you fucked her. You know? It's like, and now the turn. So he's like, and my point is this.
I
I'm
did notice
talking
that.
to you. What?
I said, by the way, I did notice that all of a sudden he was all about saying that they fucked.
We knew it was going to happen. This is what these guys do. You know, they're like, I'm so nice. She has to be with me. Everybody else was mean to her, so surely she'll want to be with me. And the second that they're not, it's like, you were fat anyway. So Austin's like, you are a child. And he's like, I'm a child? You're a little boy that cried wolf in a 6'5" frame, and now I'm talking to you man to man in the face. And Austin just pushes him to push him off the stool.
Shoves him off. And Austin goes, I'm serious, man. And by the way, JT fell off that stool very gracefully. He like
on his feet.
Did you notice he just like was like, boop, on his feet right away, like hit another stool very lightly. He was just like boop, ready to go, you know. And
it's like he's been kneeling on stools to fight with taller people his entire life.
I know. He was like a cat, just lands right on his feet, ready to go. He didn't land on his butt. There was not like a domino effect with all the other stools. He just boop, ready to go. And JT goes, guess what? Do it again. Do it again. And then he like chest bumps Austin, you know. And then there's
It
like
was
tussling.
very like Real Housewives of Dallas. Bow at me.
Yeah.
Bow at me.
There's a lot of tussling. They edit it very quickly. I feel like Bravo was like not showing us the extent of the fight because I think they wanted to still make this show seem gentlemanly. So, and by the way, they were fighting like no one's breaking this up. While they're even after the push, after the chest bump, no one's coming in to be like, whoa, 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 whoa. They're all like, okay, we're gonna watch.
Yeah,
They don't care.
They're just all drinking and watching. And so Austin's like, whoa, over all the years, there's never been any physical contact, and now you're going to come in? He's like, you did it. You pushed me first. I mean, where's Austin going to even try with this? Austin's so bad at this. He's going to try and start a fight with someone and then get that guy to start a physical fight so he can get that guy fired. But you literally pushed him first off of a stool, and you came over to bully a short person.
Yeah, and he goes, you headbutted me first. JT goes, guess what? You hit me first. Guess what? You fucking lose. I'll never see you again.
Yeah, I'll see you never.
I'll see you never
Just to
again.
continue the 80s theme. I'll see you never.
Unless you want to meet at 3 o'clock behind the school. So then,
Oh, really? I sit around your house? Your mama's so fat, she sits around the house.
Patricia walks in and is like, all right, both of you, detention.
So Austin's like, you just can't help yourself, can you, JT? And he's like, oh, yeah, see you never. And JT smiles, and he's like, I didn't want to go there, but I did. Because he's a thirsty drama queen who kind of got what he wanted, and so was Austin. And so congratulations. I think you've cemented yourself as just another terrible man on this cast. Good
But
job.
I really appreciated him going after Austin. I feel like we have not really seen it done properly. And I was glad that he stood his ground, to be honest.
I was too. I mean, he technically didn't stand his ground, but he tried. He emotionally stood his ground. And
He kneeled his ground.
Yeah.
So, and then of course, to end the season, Austin gave us a classic, this is fucking insane. Insane. So everyone's telling Austin to calm down. And of course, Shep leaves the party. And so Shep walks out of the cottage. They're calming down Austin outside. And Shep sees it and just walks by. Doesn't like go to Austin to be like, hey, like, you know, calm down. He's just like, fuck Austin. And he basically says that his relationship with Austin is frayed. And, you know, it's bad. And it's a bad place.
He got the last line of the entire season, Shep. He's like, he did me wrong. I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I hate to say it, but Austin deserves it, and no one can dispute that. And I was like, wow, congratulations. This is the first season Shep's ever had where he wasn't the monster of the season, and he just fucking loves it. He's like,
Yeah.
okay, my work here is done. Austin initiated a physical fight, looks like an idiot, and he's been dumped by both of the girls that like him. One of the girls that liked him blatantly tried to get me, and the other one dumped him for good. My work here is done. I'm gonna leave here. Well, I'm not the biggest villain of the season.
Yeah.
Thank you, God.
Well, to be fair, I feel like Shep alternates. He has a season where he's a monster, and he has a season where he's like palatable. And this is a P season, not an M season.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. He's really like ever since the homeless situation, or I should say unhoused situation with that lady, he's really struggled. That was a real breaking point with his image, because I used to love Shep. And I still like, despite myself, I think he's a horrible person and he's arrogant, but I still actually, I'm always intrigued by Shep. I find him to be a very fascinating person to watch, because I see him as someone who is very smart, who is very spoiled, very entitled, very wealthy, and he's like terrible to people. I see him actually, I don't think it's fake. I feel like he tries to work on himself, but it doesn't work, because like the monster's too big and it's just getting worse and worse. So
Yeah, I don't
just find
think
it
he tries to
fascinating.
work on himself at all. I think he's one of those people who tries to work on his reality. Because what these people go through really on Twitter, like people just coming after them on Instagram, commenting constantly about what pieces of shit they are. Even they have fans, but just all those detractors and stuff. And it's like Housewives, like they always come back trying to adjust. It's like, okay, I got canceled for what I did to that lady in the streets, the unhomed lady or whatever. And so now I'm going to come back and I'm going to be a good guy this season. And it's like, he's always trying to readjust. It's like, okay, I'm going to be a good guy because now I'm going to have a girlfriend, and people can't just call me a user. So I'm going to be with a girlfriend. But then he eventually slips and is just the emotionally abusive asshole that he's always been on camera. And then it's like, oh no, how do I fix this? Okay, she's going to be there. So I'm just going to try and be a good friend to her and be a victim because Austin is trying to steal my girlfriend. But then it slips, and then he's like emotionally abusing her at the cabin in front of everybody. And it's like, he's just like trying to keep adjusting for the public, but he just can't stop showing himself. He can't stop showing his ass.
I'm going to revise what I said. I actually agree with what you said in that, like, I do think like he's trying to better himself. I think gives him way too much credit. It's not that, but I feel like he does try to adjust 100%. He is trying to be like, oh shit, like everyone hated how I was last season, so I'm going to adjust this season. But I feel like it's actually in the words that he says and things that he does, there's like something in his language which makes me feel like he had some conversations with people and did some reading, and he's trying to kind of like follow it, but he can't. And I say this because as opposed to someone like Austin, I feel like is truly just an adjuster and is like trying to adjust his image, but I don't see it being deeper than him saying like, oh, people didn't like me last season, so I'm gonna just be nice now. And that's why I feel like it's interesting with Shep, because I feel like he strives a little bit more than Austin, but he can't. He can't do it, And I think I'll just always be interested in Shep for that reason. But like Austin is just a shitty person. He's just like a one-dimensional shitty person.
One thing I will say to that is that Shep at least looks tortured enough to know that he's terrible. And he's like,
that's a really a good point.
He's like, I am terrible, but I don't want to be, so I'll try not to be, even though he feels like he will always be. Like,
what? I think that's the crux of it. I think there is an element of self-awareness with Shep.
Austin just sucks. Austin's just terrible.
Yeah.
And watching Shep on the show, it's like Shep has realized who he is on the show, because he's probably had this life where everybody just tells him he's perfect and amazing. So coming onto this show and he was like the golden boy of this show the first couple of years. But then when he started getting pushback on what a piece of shit he was, and it's like the first time he's probably ever heard that.
As he got older.
You can see, yes, and you could see it crumbling his face. Like he turns red and his eyes turn black. I mean, you can see it just killing the guy. Whereas Austin, since he's come on the show, Austin was more like innocent and like, okay, so I'm supposed to pretend to have this girlfriend to be on this show. I mean, okay. Like he had more of like an innocent vibe about him. And we've seen him just become a complete egomaniacal piece of shit sociopath,
Yeah.
So
I think that
it's
I think
interesting.
I think you totally hit the nail on the head. I think that Shep has an element of self-awareness, and not just audience awareness. I think Austin may have audience awareness, but like because Shep says things every now and then that are very self-deprecating, like an awareness of like, yeah, I did that, and like I think that he knows enough, he sees enough where he realizes where he is a monster, but he's totally incapable of changing, and like that is like really fascinating to me. Whereas Austin knows enough to know that people don't like him, but he doesn't know enough. But he still doesn't ever see himself as responsible for it. That's why I guarantee at the reunion he will inevitably say, like he does every year, he's like, well, once again, I'm like the punching bag for everyone. Like everyone's so mean to me on social media. Like, I'm glad making everyone so like making it so easy for everyone to like come at me. I'm glad I'm entertaining everyone. Like that's his thing. So anyway, should we pivot to a little Southern hospitality chat?
Let's do it.
So last week, or whenever it was, the latest episode, which we didn't cover because of break, the big thing that happened was that they were like really mad. A lot of the gang was mad that Joe was hanging out with like O'Sheen a lot, and they felt like that wasn't cool. And so then O'Sheen needed to apologize to Emmy for O'Sheen like slapped Emmy's ass at work, which was definitely not cool. And so then Joe brought O'Sheen to the bar where the whole gang was hanging out. And Joe was like, yeah, I'm bringing O'Sheen so that way O'Sheen can like clear the air about all this, and then we can just like all be friends and stuff. And but then O'Sheen didn't clear the air, and Will was like, you better apologize. You better fucking apologize. And O'Sheen's like, I don't know who you are. He's like, oh, you better apologize. And so then as revenge, O'Sheen went at Grace Lily's party and just started telling everyone that Will hooked up with a girl.
Yes, he went to the bathroom at a party. He went into the bathroom at a party with a girl with a bottle of rosé for 30 minutes straight. Dun, dun, dun. So this week is basically dealing with that. Now, O'Sheen, first of all, people are asking us, why are we calling him O'Sheen? Because that's what they call him on the show. Now, at first we were like, is it Oisin? We didn't know. Or is it Ocean? We don't know. People are telling us online it's Ocean or Ocean, right? And that they're Irish and they know how to pronounce this name. But guess what? Everybody on the show says O'Sheen. So
O'Sheen.
That's what we're sticking with, okay?
It's
the
O'Sheen.
Common pronunciation, at least on this dum-dum of a show. So that's why we're calling him that. So O'Sheen, who has just had this confrontation with like, you don't grab girls' butts at work and treat girls like that. He's like, okay, sorry. So now this week.
He didn't really even say, okay, sorry. He was like, I don't have any recollection of doing that, but if I did do that, then I'm sorry.
It's like, if I did it, I'm sorry. I guess I'm sorry about doing it if I did that.
It was like the O.J. Simpson book. If I did do it, this is how I would have done it.
Yeah. So, hi, Mueller. So then he, this week, just after all this, it's like sexual harassment. This week he comes right into the kitchen. He's like, hey there, gorgeous, you're so pretty, little girl. And like gives her like 2 kisses on the cheek, like manhandles her, and then like walks away.
Emmy was not happy this week. She was not happy about those rumors. So what's funny about Emmy is she sort of has action figure hands, I noticed. So when she talks, she either puts her hands like paddles, or sorry, my fingernails are really long, everyone. I'm going to get them cut today. Or she puts her fingers out, like fully spreads them out when she talks. And she moves her hand like in a very herky-jerky way. And she's like, I cannot believe what O'Sheen was saying. Can you believe what O'Sheen was saying about Will? What a piece of shit. I trust Will fully, 100%. And so she was really agitated at O'Sheen, but she was also mad at Maddie because there was a hilarious moment in the middle of the show, which honestly, it could have been the whole episode for me, where Emmy is just, she's slicing limes in the kitchen. Be like, I'm a good worker. I'm so good. I should be a manager. Look at the way I slice these limes. This is the way a manager slices limes.
No one even had to tell me to juice these limes.
And she's wearing a pink dress. And as she's standing there, lime, 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 some other girls come. This one girl, don't know who she is. She comes in and just stares at her. Like I was like, is this a zombie movie? Like it looked like it was a horror movie, and this girl was about to slaughter Emmy. Did you notice that?
Was it the blonde girl?
Yes.
Yeah, she had her. We just talked about how Shep's eyes go black. Hers went black. I was like, "Are you
Yeah.
about to put Emmy through the juicer? What's
I
wrong?"
know. It was like she looked possessed. It was like a horror movie possession. Like, I'm here to kill you. I was like,
Yeah, it's like she walks in like, "Hi, everybody. I'm taking the lime lady down."
so then they stare at each other, and then all of a sudden Emmy goes, blues. And she's like, pinks? She's like, I thought we were pinks today. No, it's blues. Blues, pinks. And then this other girl, this beautiful woman in the background, walks in and she's like, I thought we were blues today. But Maddie told me pinks. And it turns out they're talking about their dresses.
And then we see, but right before all this happened, Maddie had texted Emmy saying, "Oh yes, and tonight pinks." So Emmy is furious. She's been told to wear the wrong color of dress to Republic, the most eminent bar, not only in Charleston, but in the world. So she's going to look stupid. So she's really upset. And then Maddie comes in.
Colors.
And to save Maddie's case, Maddie is in a pink dress too. So it looks like Maddie just got it wrong, right? But the only person that she texted was Emmy. So.
But then here's the thing. So first of all, it's like Emmy's already, and then there's, I think, some girl named like Sierra or Sienna who hasn't come into work today. So her dress is hanging. So Maddie takes it to change into. So Emmy's the only one who's in pink. And so then there's like a staff meeting. And so Leva and the CEO of all of Republic, Leah, walks in, making her grand return in a pantsuit.
Yes. And it's pink, which is
By the way,
ironic.
I noticed exactly. Way to go.
And you know what's so weird is that Leva comes dressed in blue, but Leah comes dressed in pink. So I'm very confused by the whole thing. And I think the conspiracy probably started with Leah because Leah is also very like, how dare she? And she's like, what is wrong with that girl in the wrong color? I am Leah. I am Leah CEO. How dare this girl try this shit with me? I have a handbook. Every day there's a color. Today's color is obviously pink or obviously blue or whatever. So they're like, well, where is Emmy? And then we see a shot of Emmy in her car hustling home to change. And they're like, you can't just leave work. Oh, Emmy is in trouble. And they're like, what happened with Emmy? And Madison's like, well, basically, like she got the color wrong for the day because today's blues. And everybody knows that. And she doesn't even say, like, I sent her the wrong information.
Yeah, she doesn't say I sent her. And by the way, Maddie, if anyone, should have given the dress to Emmy because then Maddie as manager could at least be like, well, I'm in pink because I'm at a higher status or whatever. But she basically throws Emmy under the bus. And so then no one is angrier than the CEO, Leah. Leah is literally, for those on Crap is on Demand, here's a shot of Leah reacting to the fact that Emmy wore the wrong color today and had to go home. And she's like, this is a business, okay? Let me tell you something. The first rule of Vegas buffets, always wear the same color. Second rule of Vegas buffets, look at rule number 1. I am not putting up with this shit whatsoever. She's going to be fired soon.
I am Leah, CEO.
Ronnie, you muted yourself by accident, I think.
Thank you.
Oh, there you're back.
Thank you for telling me.
That was Leah. Leah just muted you.
Leah CEO. So she comes back. Emmy gets her dress, and she comes back, and Leah's like, "Where were you? I'm Leah CEO. Do not make me send this gargoyle after you." And the waitress is like, "I will kill her. I will kill her, master." She's like, hold on.
Heal. So then Emmy's like, no, look at this text. And Emmy shows the text to Leva and to Leah, and it says, it's from Maddie. It says, by the way, pinks tonight. So then they're like, oh, don't worry, you're not in trouble. Not this time.
Yeah, that was very like that. You got off this time, but next time you're in the wrong color dress.
It was my favorite part of the entire episode because it was also like so workplacey, like such a workplace thing, but also how like they were like so really upset about this dress
They
code.
were terrified. I have to say, Emmy was terrified that she didn't have the right dress, and she's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I don't have the right dress." And then the other manager guy goes, "Stop it!
Yes, he's like,
Just stop it!
shh, stop it. This is an emergency. This is a Republic
Someone
emergency.
is
We
gonna
have
get
to fix
beat."
it. Leah CEO is coming in.
Oh my gosh.
She's bringing her gargoyle army. Okay, so we either fix this or we die. Okay.
So Emmy is, of course, furious, because this whole season she's been laying the groundwork. Like, Maddie doesn't even do her job. She stays outside and waits to see Trevor pass by on his bike carriage or whatever it is. So she's been like, I can look at me doing the limes. I should run this place. It's Republic, the best bar on earth. So she's been laying this groundwork all season, and now Maddie has stepped in it. So she's going to really lay into it. She's like, I'm just so sick of that. Why is it me? She didn't. And then the little gargoyle one's like, she didn't even take responsibility, master.
I'm looking for the key master. So, so then elsewhere around town, Will is really mad at Joe because Will and Joe are like besties. And like, Joe has been hanging out with Oshin, and like Joe did not shoot down the rumor authoritatively, and so Will is really mad because don't forget Will's going to law school, and I'm actually last week Will went in. We finally met Will's dad, and his dad is a lawyer at the practice of I say attorneys at law. And he's worried that he's going off to law school. He's going to be far away from everyone. And I think he's just worried about being out of the loop. So he has Joe come over and he's like, bro, like, you didn't even like shut down that rumor. And Joe's like, well, I thought it's just, don't shoot the messenger. Just like, I just thought I was being like a good friend and like, just let you know. But like, I realized it's actually like a really bad friend. And I was just like I see it now. And like, I think we can like, I think our friendship is like easier to heal than your arm. So let's like be friends again. And like, just like, that's what I was just saying,
And Will's like, yeah, you know what? Dudes just like to be dudes. Like, we don't like to talk about our feelings. But right now, Joe's being vulnerable and he's opening up. Like, these guys are so fucking ridiculous. So in other news, Grace Lily has run into some problems with her boyfriend who didn't seem fishy at all. I mean, this total cheese bag who didn't become your boyfriend until you'd been on TV and were shooting another season. Can't believe this one's not working out. What's his name?
Liam, I believe.
Liam. So Joe gets a call at work and he's like, oh my God, Grace Lily, is that you? Hold on, I'm gonna go sit on the couch so I can talk to you about love. Look, this is important. And he runs over and he's like, Maddie, Grace Lily. She's like, oh my God, Grace Lily's on the phone. Oh my God, hold on, I'm gonna go sit with you on the couch. This is very important. Grace Lily, we're here for you.
Really
we're here.
Where is it? Are you okay, Grace Lily? And she's like,
We're here.
You guys, I don't know. I've been fighting with Liam. He's just so concerned about my past. And she says that like they went to sleep, everything was fine for her birthday, and then in the middle of the night he woke up and was going through her phone and was like, who's this? It was like someone that she used to date, and he didn't know about it, and he was like, why didn't you tell me? And he got like really, really jealous. And then we find out later that he's like really obsessed with taking photos with her and like establishing that they're dating on social media, and that he's like really into going through her phone all the time.
Yeah.
Creepy. Listen, if the psychotic smile that's on this guy's face is not indication enough, get out, Grace Lily. The call is coming from inside the house.
Not only is he creepy and stalkery, but thirsty, trying to get on your Instagram, etc. Yeah. Get rid of him.
And he kind of looks like Carter from Vanderpump Rules, which is also a bad sign.
Yeah, that's not great. So they're like, oh my God, Grace Lily, we're here for you. We're here for you. And then what's the other thing? Okay, the other thing is Mia is great. Mia does not even care. Mia's like, okay, you don't want me to work at the club? I don't care. I will still drive the majority of the plot. Thank you very much. You are not firing me from this show, you hookers. Thanks.
I will wear the uniform, and I will still show up outside the club and have scenes. So she and like Emmy go walking around the street or whatever, and Mia's like, so like this rumor, like, do you think that like Will did anything? And Emmy's like, absolutely not. He has had such a hard summer, his shoulder, okay? And now he's going through so much. He's going to law school. And I just, I trust Will. I trust Will. So Mia's like, okay, well, I'll circle back at the end of the episode with better proof. Okay.
Yeah, Emmy is freaking out. I mean, look, partly it's because she loves Will, right? So you want to believe. And Will's been like, what? I was just hugging her with a bottle of champagne in a bathroom because my best friend died and she knows somebody that died. So we were just hugging in a bathroom for half an hour with champagne, which, listen, nobody believes that except for Emmy, right?
Right.
But I think it's also because she's been planning on this like fairy tale. I'm marrying a lawyer. And then he's my trophy husband. And then we're going to, I mean, this is all stuff she said, not me being like,
She just wants a rich husband.
this is stuff that she said. Like, I'm going to have this trophy husband. We're going to go get this monster mansion and have all these kids. And so, she doesn't want this to just break up.
Yeah, I mean, she is this close to having, all these daughters named like Madison and Paige and Richardson and Parkway and
Oh,
Dakota.
I think she's going to be a total. We all have like names.
Mackenzie.
She'll be like,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
Emmy, and then here's my daughters, Emily, Elsbeth,
Erin.
email.
Erasure.
Elevator. I mean, listen, there aren't many
Endometriosis.
names. Endometriosis. Okay, so then
Elevator.
Mia's like, oh my God, let's go have lunch at that place that has gluten-free cauliflower soup. And she's like, okay. So they meet up and she's like, okay. So here we go, Emmy. Emmy, I love you, right? So sorry to do this. So it turns out that one of the girls at this party, I know, it's not crazy. So I called her, I sent her a text and I said, did you see Will? And she said, look, here in the text, I did see Will. He was making out with a girl in a bathroom. Sorry.
And then I said, are you sure? And she said, 100%. And I said, are you really sure? And she said, they were like, I saw lip to lip action and tongue to tongue. Are you really sure? 1,000%. So yeah. And Emmy's like, I don't believe it. Nope, don't believe it. I would believe sooner that Maddie told me the right dress the other day than I would believe this story.
So she's like, we're going to go confront Will. So she takes Mia to Joe's house where Will still is. And she's like, go ahead. Tell her. Go ahead and tell her. And Mia's like, does the same thing. She's like, okay, I knew a friend that was there at the party. Let me read the text. And he's like, that's a lie. And you're just going to believe that? That is an absolute lie. She goes, why would she lie? I was like, well, because you're on a TV show and she's trying to get on the TV show. I mean, what about the girl who showed up at Bradley's place the other day? Do I think she was lying? I don't know. But we found out at the not Bradley's place. Yes.
Yeah, well, yeah,
You know what I'm
he was
saying.
training her. Yeah.
Bradley, the girl who showed up and said she was making out with Trevor, but then later they were told at the Grace Lilly birthday party last week that it was never Trevor making out with that girl. It was Trevor's friend. So who knows who to believe on this show? But obviously there are people with motives to lie, Mia. But still, do I believe it? Yes, I do believe that.
Oh,
Will
yeah,
made
I
out
believe
with some
it.
girl at a party. And also, I believe that Emmy probably doesn't care and has probably made out with other dudes at parties.
I feel like Will, like I want to believe him. Well, not that I want to believe him, but he seems convincing. But if Scandival taught us anything, so anything can happen. Okay, we can be
Just
scammed.
Vanderpump Rule. No, I mean way before Scandival. I mean season 1
Jax and Kristen.
of Vanderpump Rules. I mean that whole time we were like, what is Stassi? Stassi is so mad at Jax, but I believe Jax. I mean, I remember believing Jax. I mean, this is now. I don't know why I'm tarnishing our own reputation like this when I don't have to bring up shit from 10 years ago. Okay, but we believed it. He was that good of a liar. He was such a fucking sicko. I'm not falling for it again. Okay, I'm never believing another man again in real life or
just
on this
honest-
channel.
Yeah. So unfortunately, Will, it does not look good, and you should have been smarter. And for right now, you are guilty. You're guilty in the court of Crappens. We'll have to see what happens. I guess there was also a storyline of Brad's mom came in and she was super cute, and then he went on a date with Lucia, but it was literally not interesting. So
Yeah, it was super boring. Yeah, that's the good thing
super
about
boring.
not doing full recaps. We can just be like, oh, Bradley has a mom.
That was
That
fun.
was the
Bye.
checking my email part. But his mom was adorable. And they were, but
I didn't
the only
watch.
thing,
I
my
scrolled.
big,
I was like, it's a mom scene. Scrolling.
my big
through
takeaway was
Facebook.
that they were eating a meal on a shaky table. It was driving me nuts. They were like sitting there cutting, and the table kept shaking. I'm like, Bradley, you work in service. You should know how to fix a table.
So what else happened? I think that was it.
That was
Pretty
it.
much.
That was the big stuff that happened. So anyway, I'm gonna put on my blue dress because I don't want to be out of code. And everyone, thank you so much for being here for today's episode. Remember, on Monday we are going to make announcements about the Crappies. So tune in for that. It's gonna be so good. Crappy Hour will be Monday night at 5:30 on the West Coast, 8:30 on the East Coast, and then check out Dwell Hello on Wondery Plus. So that's it for everything. Talk to everyone later.
Bye.
Bye.